Hello. Today, I'd like to introduce you to the topic of creative destruction. People are always coming up with new ways to destroy stuff creatively. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about here today is the often misunderstood subject in economics of how a free market economy moves forward through advances in technology or better ways of doing things, making yesterday's economy obsolete as the future one unfolds. It's the paradox of progress. In this segment and the coming segments, we will talk about what creative destruction is, how it has worked in the past, what causes it, how it brings progress, and we'll look at creative destruction today and in the future. And finally, we're going to look at some valuable lessons that we can learn from it. So, what is creative destruction? Well, let me illustrate with an example. Suppose that a transporter became possible like in the series Star Trek. You can beam yourself from one place to another like they did from the Starship Enterprise to a planet that the Starship Enterprise was orbiting. What would a transporter do to life on Earth? Let's read this article from the New York Times and see. A team of American, Japanese, and European scientists today announced that they had unlocked the secrets of transporter technology. The new invention breaks the electromagnetic bonds holding molecules together, allowing matter to be sent from one place to another via microwave transmission. Several bystanders reportedly witnessed the successful transport of a mouse over a distance of roughly 15 feet. Scientists hail the invention as a breakthrough that will allow cheap, instantaneous transport of people and merchandise over long distances. Okay, you'll notice that this article was written by Schumpeter, a well-known economist who first used the term creative destruction. Of course, Schumpeter didn't write the article since he died in 1950, but the article does illustrate the changes in how we would live because of the transporter. First, let's think of 5 ways a transporter would benefit society. Just think of getting up on a Saturday morning and saying, "Hey, you want to go to the Grand Canyon?" And voila, you're there in just 5 minutes. You go to Thailand for lunch, and maybe to Paris for dinner. If grandma, who lives hundreds of miles away, gets sick one day, you can go see her instantly. So your freedom to travel increases greatly, and that's one benefit, huge benefit. Number 2, you save time. The average American commutes about 29 minutes each way to work every day, at least before COVID. So commuting wastes our time about an hour a day, plus the gas, and it pollutes the air. Who wants that? A transporter would save so much time. With that time, you can either have a leisurely breakfast with your family, sleep in, or get to work and have more time to earn income, or maybe take care of personal business. It would likely be safer to use too. Each successive form of transportation that we have invented has been safer. Airline safety is greater than with cars, which were safer than early train travel. Trains were a very risky way of traveling. About 10 to 15,000 people used to die on trains every year even though the volume of passengers was much lower than what cars and planes carry every year. We would also have a cleaner environment because we certainly wouldn't use nearly as much fossil fuel. We wouldn't be polluting the air as much or causing global warming. So that would be so much better. And also, we would have a more beautiful planet. We have about 4 million miles of ground in America that's been taken up by our roads. If you add it all up, it's equal to about the size of the state of Indiana. If we could eliminate those roads, parking lots, garages, stoplights, street signs, and so on, we could create a more beautiful nation. Instead of asphalt, we could plant rose gardens, have beautiful places to walk like the Appalachian Trail multiplied many times over. We could eventually have a much more beautiful planet. What a great leap forward for humankind this would be. But would the transporter have any effect on existing jobs? Oh my. Of course, an enormous one. Think about it. We would no longer need cars, planes, parking lots, railroads, gasoline, warehouses, FedEx or UPS or USPS, and so on. Gone are the jobs of auto mechanics, pilots, mail carriers, valet support, taxi and Uber drivers, and people who build parking lots, flight attendants, and so on. That's just the beginning. It's a very, very long list. Maybe as many as 40 million jobs in America would be destroyed by the transporter. The lesson here is that progress destroys jobs. Okay, well, that was a fictitious article about the transporter. However, coming soon, and this time for real, are driverless trucks. A student of mine recently was driving back from Houston when he passed a fleet of identical trucks, all in a convoy. When he looked up as he passed the lead truck, there was no driver, so it's already happening. Robots are expected to replace 1.7 million truck drivers. Of course, it's not just trucks. Our cars are changing to become driverless and electric. The point will come in your lifetime, and certainly your kids, that you won't even own a car. Why would you need one when you could just summon up your autonomous remote electric vehicle with a few words through some kind of technology like Alexa, saying, "Alexa, I need a car to take my daughter to school in 5 minutes."
Okay, your vehicle is on the way.
Or maybe to pick up groceries. We'll come back to this all later. Today's driverless cars still have a steering wheel, but that will eventually disappear. Who needs it? We will reconfigure the inside to make it more comfortable, more spacious, luxurious, and so on, and useful. But what about all those people, though, who drive us around during the day? 198,000 people today drive taxis or limos to make a living. 750,000 people drive Uber, Lyft, or some other on-demand car service, either full-time or part-time. Plus, there's 878,000 people who drive for FedEx or UPS or USPS or some local package delivery, but maybe their jobs are safe, right? Because after all, somebody has got to take that package out of the back of the truck and walk it up to your doorstep. So maybe we do need a driver for those vehicles after all, right? Well, meet Ford's Digit robot. And think again. If you look at this video, you'll see that we already have developed robots that can be packed into the back of trucks. They can unfold themselves, pick up our packages out of the back of the truck, and then walk them straight to your door. Out with the old and in with the new. Out with the old and in with the new. It's always been that way. What other old technologies are we destroying today? Well, for the last 100 years or more, this is the way we have checked out when we went to the grocery store. 3,589,000 U.S. employees in 2018 were cashiers. That's all changing though today. With Amazon, you can download the app, scan your phone as you enter the store, get whatever you want, and then just walk out like these people. No cashiers. Something similar is already happening at Sam's Club stores. Again, you merely download their Scan and Go app, open it as you shop for items, and scan their barcodes as you select and pay for them. Then, skipping any checkout lines, you head for the exit, stopping to display your app receipt at the exit, and you're on your way. Amazon mulls opening 3,000 cashless stores, as this article says, and this is clearly where we're headed. So, if others follow Amazon and Sam's lead, then sooner rather than later, 3.1 to 3.6 million cashier jobs could be gone. Also, say bye-bye to 445,000 service workers, the people on the counters here who take your order. Instead, you might order at a kiosk, such as this one, and away go the counter service jobs. Perhaps you take some comfort in knowing that in most restaurants today, we still need cooks. But guess what? Robots are even being developed to cook the food. What about the check-in process at hotels? Well, some hotels are already transitioning away from front desk clerks to kiosks. As the old saying goes, anything you could do, I can do better. More and more robots are becoming very advanced, perhaps surpassing humans at some tasks. That's the fear, that robots won't just help us, they'll replace us in everything that we do. Elon Musk is so sure that robots are the future that he and his partner Claire named their son X-A12. That's their boy's actual birth certificate. And on and on. Where does all this end? Naturally. Many people worry that robots will destroy their jobs. And we're not ready for the next couple of decades when all this will happen. It's already happening. A recent study claims 20 million jobs can be taken over by robots. What's the probability that a robot will take your job by 2040? Well, it depends on what you do. If you do rote, repetitive things that can easily be programmed, then the probability is very high. 94%, for example, for accountants and auditors. The study by two Oxford researchers claims that perhaps as many as 37% of actors can be replaced by robots or AI. Well, I just laughed when I saw this. I didn't believe it. But then I remembered some of the movies I had seen over the past few years. Shrek, Despicable Me, Beauty and the Beast, Frozen, Coco, Finding Nemo, all with my 14-year-old, all animated. What do we do when robots take our jobs? Creative destruction is by no means a new phenomenon. I know it's hard, but try not to worry about this. Our next segment in this series will take a comforting look at creative destruction at work in the past. It didn't ruin us then, and it won't now. Out with the old and in with the new is the way we have advanced throughout history, and I will show it. Until then, goodbye.